Welcome to the Google Drive landing page. Here you'll see that this student currently has one folder, a third grade folder. Each year I encourage my children to make new folders to organize their materials. File management is so important for students growing up in the digital age because this is going to be home to all of their documents. New folder is how they would create a new folder. By double-clicking it, students are inside that folder. Clicking on the arrow next to the grade allows new folders to be added within this folder. I tell my students to create one folder per subject that they are in. If they double-click the folder, they are inside of that folder. This pathway up top provides them insight as to where they're at. I tell my students to think about it like this. My drive can be thought of as their desks. They have a new desk in 4th grade, so they need to keep it organized. Inside of their 4th grade desk is their math folder. Okay, if they wanted to go back to 4th grade and see what other folders they had, they'd click on 4th grade, and maybe they'd want to be in their art folder. These folders can be color-coded to match your teaching style or your children's preferences by double-clicking the folders and clicking on the drop-down bar next to the word math and clicking change color. Back in 4th grade, you'll now see that math is purple. Inside the reading folder, I have a couple of options. I can click an existing document if there was one here, or I can create a new one. Let's say I wanted to create a document for a book club that I'm in, and I want to make a reading response I want to share with my classmates. I could do Google Slides, which is like PowerPoint, Google Sheets, which is like Excel, or Google Docs, which is like a Word document. So I want to create a document that I can share with my classmates for a reading response. I want to title it with my last name. I want to title it with Reading Response 1, and maybe the book I'm doing in class. This child has now finished her reading response, and she's ready to send it on to her teacher or another classmate. By doing that, she can click on Share. Now, please recognize you always have the option as a student and a teacher to not share your documents with anyone, but to make the most out of this collaborative platform, you can share it with someone for feedback. By clicking on Share, you'll get a couple options. You can allow the person you are sending this document to edit it, which means they can change any part of the document, or they can comment on it. The editing feature is good for collaborative work, or if a child is sending it to a teacher for final edits. Commenting feature is good for students maybe doing this reading response where a child would welcome feedback on the reading response, but not changes. So if I was sending it to a teacher, I'm pretending I'm a student, I'm going to send it to my teacher for feedback. I might actually click edit on this one, and a note is optional, but I might say, if I was a student, Dear Mrs. Wales, my reading response is done. Okay, and then I click send. Back in my teacher account, I can now click on Shared with Me, and I will get access to the document that the student sent me. I guess I did put my last name here for the example, but the student would have put his or her last name for the example. Okay, now I would have the option, if I was another student, to comment on this child's work. Or if I was a teacher, I could comment on it too, depending on who you had this child send the work to. So I'm going to read it, and I'm going to make a comment. And maybe I see that this is something that I have a connection with. And I'm going to highlight it and click on Comment, and click on Comment. And I'm going to say maybe, I feel the same way when I say goodbye to my friends at summer camp. Okay, that leaves a comment. Now this is great for reading responses, but it can also be good for editing and revising Word documents for writing workshop. Back into the student side now, you'll notice that the landing page looks a little different this time. Students can always go up to what I call the waffle icon, and they can always click back on just the Drive button, and it'll take them back to the landing page we're used to. Now back inside 3rd grade, inside of reading, the student will find the document that he or she worked on earlier. Double-clicking on it the child will now find the teacher note or the student note in the comment section. As I hope you are starting to be able to see, the opportunities for collaboration are absolutely endless using Google Drive. The best part about this cloud storage is that students can access it from at home, in their classrooms, on vacation, or anywhere. You don't have to worry about your child losing a flash drive or forgetting to save. Google Drive automatically saves everything. And it's a great place for file management, collaboration, and organization. I hope that it'll be helpful to you and to your students this year.